Whenever we talk to anyone and I mention Standing Rock, everyone knows what I'm talking about. They know about the atrocities that occurred in the construction of the Dakota Access pipeline. The abuse to indigenous people, dogs biting people, the company itself hiring just horrible security people to cause all kinds of trouble to the indigenous people and so forth. Everyone knows about that. But they do also know that the actual pipeline was built. And they know the pipeline carries fracked oil from North Dakota down to the Gulf Coast for export. What they don't know usually is that that same company plans on doubling the flow through that pipeline. And we just think that's absolutely horrible, and almost everyone agrees with us. And the process of approving that pipeline, that doubling in Illinois, occurs at the Illinois Commerce Commission. And there's a hearing coming up on March 5th to introduce evidence into that case. And we think it's extremely important that we flood that hearing room. That the more people that turn out, the more the Illinois Commerce Commission and everyone in the entire world would know that this should not be happening.
Tomorrow, millions of Americans will go to work and our children will go to school.
Your children won't be able to go to school with oil if they have no inhabitable planet for their future.
America will move tomorrow because of the oil and gas we produce today.
It will hurt our future, it'll hurt your kids, and it'll hurt the country we live in.
Dakota Access Pipeline is proud to stand alongside the more than 14,000 oil and gas workers right here in Illinois.
If we really wanted jobs, we should look at renewable resources, not resources that will contaminate our drinking water and harm our future.
It puts profit over the lives of people. We want to make sure that our children and our children's children are able to live and work in a sustainable economy.
One thing, too, that has been kind of interesting to see is just a few blocks from my house, there's these billboards advertising Dakota Access, not mentioning the doubling, but just saying like, oh, DAPL is good for Illinois energy, which again is misleading because most of this oil is, 99% sure going to be shipped overseas. And, even if it wasn't, right, it's like we don't need more oil in Illinois. We don't need more oil anywhere. We need to stop extracting all oil and invest in renewable energy, which we have the technology to do.
The Dakota Access Pipeline is a step back into the past. As we continue into the midst of a climate emergency, we can no longer rely on oil and other fossil fuels for our energy sources and jobs.
We need to stop doubling the capacity of pipelines such as the Dakota Access Pipeline.
The science is 100% clear. We literally have no carbon budget for investing in new fossil fuel infrastructure. We cannot move forward with the Dakota Access Pipeline being doubled. Doubling the capacity of the pipeline is essentially a death warrant for the planet.
The fact is our future is at stake, and especially as the climate crisis gets worse, it's going to really affect indigenous communities and communities of color the worst. And when this pipeline was built, it was built out of disrespect to the communities who have lived there for thousands of years.
Not only has it leaked over 10 times in the past 2 years, like indigenous people said it would, it's going to end, in the long run, it's going to harm our future.
That ad and the Super Bowl ad, maybe also those shows that the industry seems to really care about this doubling and about this project, but also maybe is a little concerned about the power of the people and showing up against this, which is promising. The Thursday action will bring in some art, some street theater, and there's going to be a press conference with some frontline leaders speaking, which is going to be great.
They're prioritizing profit over the people and the planet, and it needs to stop.
They're putting their greed over the greater good of the people.
Say no to DAPL.
And now is the time for us to stand up, and I'm confident that we will.
My generation will not allow this to happen.
Show up, let these folks know that we are watching, that we understand the truth, and that we will be there every step of the way as they work to permit this pipeline. And if they go through with it, we will escalate our actions and shut it down.